Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new season of Media Leaks Mic'd Up, and I'm in the studio with the one and only Ashleye Braxton. Let's get it, let's go.
Hi.
Y'all heard it first, G. Oh yeah. Man, for those of y'all who don't know, Ashley's been growing with us for a little while, man, and checking in with her today, we gonna chop it up, everything from, man, being on stage, acting, to music, to the new journey, transition, like out with the old, in with the new. So let's get it, man.
Let's do it.
Let's get it, man. How you been, man?
I've been just transitioning.
Yeah, that word again.
Just transitioning on a new journey, a new path, just an entirely different life, I guess you could say. So I've been very focused on that, and yeah, that's what's been going on.
Okay. The word transition, it means to change over time, to grow into the new. Like, what does it mean to you?
So for me, the transition was basically just becoming who I was always supposed to be. I went through different stages of my life where I always wondered why things were not working out or they weren't progressing per se. And it wasn't because of the people I was around. It wasn't because I wasn't talented enough or good enough or whatever you want to call it. It was because I was not doing what God's plan was for me. I was doing my own thing. I was doing what other people were telling me to do. And when I just sat back and I let God lead, I transitioned into a new life. So
when you say, I wanted to do things my way, or I wanted to do things Ashleye way, like what does that mean? Like, what do you?
I think it goes back to me being a secular artist. I was a secular artist. I was the Cardi B, the Meg Thee Stallion, those that know. And I think that in turn, I always wondered why it never worked out for me. And it wasn't because I didn't have bars. It wasn't because I didn't have the look or I couldn't sing or whatever the case. The talent was there, but I was using it for what I felt like I should have been doing. I felt like people were telling me to be this type of artist because that's what was trending. They were telling me to be this type of artist because money was the motive and fame was the motive. And that's why things weren't progressing for me. It wasn't because that's not what I was supposed to be doing with my life. It's because I was doing it the wrong way. I was doing what I wanted to do and not God's will. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a mouthful. Okay.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it's crazy. Like I'm close enough just over the years, like R&B, rap, trap. Like, I mean, like you
everything.
Like but you didn't let like, how do I say it? You didn't let like the box of what others thought of you contain what you was trying to do.
Yeah, I couldn't because I feel like anybody can get up there and rap, I mean, we wake up every day and there's a new rapper. There's a new single or something of the sort. So I never wanted to be able to be compared to anybody. I always wanted people to be able to look at me and say, like, that's Ashleye, and for a while, that's what it was. I stood out. I was definitely my own artist, but I just wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. I wasn't doing what my calling was. So I wasn't walking in that. So. Okay.
I got a really, really good chance to see you in your play out. I mean, y'all had a tour. Y'all went all over with this. The play is called The Room. And got a chance to see you on stage, singing your heart out, singing for the Lord, singing for God. Like, how did that make you feel? And what challenges did you have to overcome to step fully into that?
I think, it was an amazing feeling. I think that it was the confirmation that I needed that that's what I was supposed to be doing. That's the lane I was supposed to be in. The moment that I stopped questioning God in terms of what I was supposed to be doing or the whole being a gospel artist, because of course I questioned him at first. I'm like, me, of all people, a gospel artist? Like, you big guy, you tripping. Like, no, there's no way. Not what I was just singing and rapping about, no way. But I think that was the confirmation. I've never felt that way singing before. as I did when I was up there, like you said, singing for him and not singing for the crowd, not singing for myself, not singing for anybody but him. I've never felt that feeling before. So that was the confirmation. And then it was literally me asking him, like, is this for me? And he told me, like, yes, it is. And like I said, that was the confirmation. And once I started being obedient to what he was telling me to do, not questioning it, not being worried or anything of that nature, that's when the opportunity started to come. Prime example, to play. I'm on stage with people like Brie Babineau. You know what I mean? Like Stella Award winning nominated artist. Somebody that I admire as a gospel artist, you know, one of the people that I look up to be able to share a stage with her and sing with her. And we had Daniel Johnson, literally an international worship leader, you know, everyone else in the play. Like, it was an experience, things that I had dreamed about, being on stage and doing those things, being able to do it with people that I admired. And they didn't treat me as they were celebrities and I was beneath them. It was like we were friends, we were family, we were cracking jokes and all of that. So it was an amazing feeling. I've never ever in my life sang and felt the feeling that I feel when I sing for him. So I knew, I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is me.
You used the O word, obedience. And I feel like this is a season within itself of obedience.
Definitely.
And like you said, when you follow what the Lord's plan for you is, because I mean, we're as human beings, we're not gonna always get it.
Of course.
You know, so when we do take the worldly step back and say, you know what, I'm gonna let you lead, like just blessing after blessing and just growth after growth, elevation. What has the experience been like, just to power through and just like, because I mean, you human too, so you gotta really like hold on, I'm backsliding. I gotta jump back into it, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely been challenging, but I think that once you are serious about your walk with God, those challenges don't feel like challenges. I think that when you focus so much on it, that's when it becomes a challenge. For me, like I said, being obedient was easy because honestly, it takes the pressure off me leading my own life because I probably didn't make the best decisions, you know?
I understand that.
You know, so we don't necessarily make the best decisions, but it's kind of like it's an easy way out in a sense. You have somebody who is leading your life. You don't have to worry about anything because you know that he's at the head of it. So for me, being obedient was very easy, but it has been, I want to say, a little overwhelming in a sense because so many people are used to me being a certain type of Ashleye.
Exactly.
So they're not used to this Ashleye, and a lot of people will have their speculations of, oh, it's fake, it's for the gram, or, you know, it's for an aesthetic, or she's just doing it because R&B didn't work out, or, you know, something of the sort. And it's honestly not for anyone to understand. And it's not my job to convince anybody. It's not my job to make them believe. It's just my job to do what God is telling me to do.
But you know, I feel like everybody has their own like narrative.
Of course.
That they try to push. But if you just stay focused and honed in to, you know, who you are, like can't nobody change the narrative
at all.
You know?
And again, if God is at the head of it, who is gonna really tell him he wrong?
Facts.
You know what I mean? Who is gonna tell him like, no, that's not okay? What? I wish I would tell him something like, oh, that's not right, that's wrong. No, we can't do that. Like what? No, it's absurd.
So one of the many blessings just within the last year, you and a brand that you created, the Cupcake Creator, were blessed to be on, like, man, daytime Chicago, and just like the type of audience that comes with, like, I know the orders was probably blowing.
It was crazy.
Phone was probably ready to explode.
It was crazy. And again, I think it just goes back to being obedient. My company has been in the works or in business, we'll say, for years now. Okay. And it's been very consistent in terms of orders, but I think giving, again, that too, just giving it to God and being like, look, I don't know what I'm doing, just take control. And he took control, and again, I was blessed with that opportunity, and the orders and the audience that came from me being on a 10-minute segment on the news was crazy. Literally, as soon as they yelled cut, went to commercial, my phone was blowing up because they had, put the information on the screen as far as contact, and the orders were coming in, people were going crazy, and I just was so overwhelmed, and I never forget the day I dropped down and I just thank God, because I'm like, this is what I asked for. I mean, people pray to run their own business, and do well from it, and yeah, that's what happened. It was overwhelming, but in a really good way.
We're gonna jump into another segment. Challenges you face with this transition. And positive things that have happened with this transition.
I think we'll start with the positive. I think the positive things that have come from this transition is I've learned so much about myself.
Oh yeah.
I've become a lot more confident, and not just in myself, but in my walk with God. My gift of discernment is at an all-time high.
Discernment.
Yeah, I'm able to discern immediately now whether a person or a place or a situation is for me.
Yeah.
Versus before, I was very like, I still give grace.
That's important.
I'm going to give you grace, but before, it was like red flags would be all around, and I would just think I was at the circus. I wasn't paying attention to the red flags. Now my gift of discernment is very high. Like I said, I'm very aware of myself. I'm very aware of my journey. I just literally, it sounds so cliche, but I let God just lead everything. I don't question anything.
I think it's cliche.
I'm much more, my mental is better. My emotional is better. So those are definitely good things. I've met some amazing people in this new path. Very just amazing people that I probably would never have even experienced before. Challenges, I think it would be the non-believers. Even though, like I said, it's not your journey to understand or believe in.
Facts. But
they can be very just obnoxious, with the things that they say and their assumptions and their ridicule, and when you're following God and you're 100% following him, the people are gonna hate.
But the beauty of it, like, I feel like now you in a better space mentally,
to deal with it.
You don't have to even engage or respond.
And I don't. I'm very much so it rolls off my shoulder now. Old Ashley, I'm arguing with people on Instagram. I'm going back and forth. I'm talking about their mamas. I'm calling them bald head. Like, that's what I would do, And now I'm just like, I either ignore it or just, you kill them with kindness. Yeah. I'm like, they're like, oh, well, you this, that, and the other. And I'm like, well, God bless you. And I just leave it at that. God bless you. Like, because you're dealing with something.
If you wasn't doing what you're supposed to do, it wouldn't be nothing.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the journey, though. You have to realize that when you're doing God's will, that's when the attacks come. That's when the negativity comes. That's when those people just come out the woodworks to try to knock you off your square, because they see that anointing on you. They see that calling, and you're walking in your purpose. But when you're not, they totally fine. They your best friend. So I don't want to be around yes men anyway. I want people that are going to encourage me, bring me closer to God too,
help me grow.
And help me grow and, push me to be the best version of myself. So that's,
Ready for this?
Because whenever somebody asks if you ready for something, it's never nothing good. My God.
All right. We're going to jump into dating.
Told y'all it wasn't nothing good.
Now look at the camera like, hold on.
God.
Not one of them Ice Cube looks.
My God. Not dating though.
So, what has changed as far as dating? And, I'm going to wait to ask that. That's a segue. Go ahead,
What has
What's
changed?
changed?
I think the type of guy that I attract and that I look for has changed. I think before I had a type, and that I was tunnel vision on my type. If you don't look like this, then I don't know what to tell you, right? And I think that sometimes when people have a type, it can prevent you from finding your person, because what your type is may not be God's type for you. So I think that now, and then, men before, the men that would approach me, I was getting a, what's up, ma? What's up, shorty? Like, just a certain type of energy. And now I'm getting a different type of energy, as well as a different type of man that even approaches me.
Okay.
A lot of the men that approach me now are very much so deeply rooted within their faith. They are vocal about their faith. They are strong about their walk with Christ. And it's just a different type of energy that comes to me now. So I would say that's pretty much what has changed. Men are crazy whether they Christian or not, just like women, you know what I mean? So that hasn't changed. But no, yeah, the type of man that approaches me and, yeah.
Okay. So along with dating, we have this thing called expectations. And men and women alike need to do better at just managing them.
Very much so.
So and not just with dating, but within any relationship in your life, how important is managing those expectations?
It's
Good
very
and bad.
important. Yeah, it's very important, because I think with any type of expectation, having an expectation always can lead to disappointment. Because first off, with dating and with any relationship per se, we're human. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to fall short.
Facts.
So if you have an expectation that this person is going to do X, Y, and Z, and then they don't, you've set yourself up to be disappointed. So I think that walking into any relationship, people need to learn the difference between having standards and non-negotiables, and then having expectations. Because you can have standards. You can say that this is something I'm not dealing with. You can have non-negotiables and say, I have to have this or it's not going to work. But then having an expectation for a person to act a certain type of way or respond a certain type of way, you're setting yourself up for disappointment, because people are different. So I think that it's very important to manage those, and honestly just not even have expectations. Have your standards, have your non-negotiables, but throw those expectations out the window in any relationship, not just romantic, but business, friendships, family, your pet, your neighbor, whatever the case. Expectations are a no-go. So.
Expectations are a no-go.
No-go.
What's
That's
a deal
on
breaker
period.
for Ashley?
Ew.
Like I'm just not doing that. I can't do that. Deal with that. I'm out the door. I'm not.
And
I'm
let me
just
tell you
not doing
something,
that.
but let me tell you something, no, definitely not having a relationship with God. Because in my mind, in order for you to get to me, you have to go through Him. So if you don't have that relationship with Him, then that means like this, it's not gonna work. Because I know how I am about my relationship with Him. It's 24/7, 365, 366 on a leap year, every day. You know,
day.
It doesn't change. It doesn't dwindle down. No. It doesn't change. So if you don't have that same fire for Him that I have, it's not gonna work. I feel like everything else would be me resorting back to having a type. You know what I mean? In a sense, you got that relationship with God. If it's meant to be, He got it. It's gonna work out. Whatever the issue is, He gonna work it out. So, yeah, that's it for me. You just have to have that relationship with God, and not no fake relationship. Not no, oh, I know she Christian and she love the Lord, so I'm gonna say I love the Lord, because baby, that gift of discernment is up there. I'm gonna be able to tell if you're a liar. You're a fibber. Judas.
So with this, it's like different, how do I say this? There's different levels to this. And it could get tricky if you're not careful. But I want to ask, Man, do you ever surprise yourself in a way? Like, do you, like, I'm surprised I'm here, but I'm not surprised I'm here? Like,
I think yes and no. I'm not surprised of where I am in every aspect because I feel like this is where God wants me to be. But I am surprised because I look back on where I was. And I wasn't like a bad person or anything like that, but I was definitely lost in so many different aspects. And when you're in that state of being lost, you don't ever expect to be found, you know, especially when you are around people who have always just left you lost. They've abandoned you. They've just left you high and dry. So it's hard to even envision a life of you not being lost, you know, of you living out your dreams and you being around a community and having certain things, and not even materialistically, but just overall in general. So it's hard to envision that when you've experienced nothing but being lost and nothing but heartache and nothing but pain and nothing but sadness and depression and anxiety. Like, it's hard to envision anything other than that. So again, I'm surprised in the sense of where I was, you know, because I never would have thought that I would be here. I quite frankly didn't even think I would see a certain age because of where I was in my depression. But to be here now and be thriving and be happy and be joyful, and you know, I'm still human. I have days where I'm like, okay, life is beating me up, but to ultimately just be in a good space, you know, and just be at peace. It's definitely.
it seems like you're more vocal, you're more present, you're more instilled, you're more just locked in a sense, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, it's just I'm in a different space in life, you know. I don't open my door for negativity. I don't open my door for foolishness. So I'm very present because I know that I have to be.
That's
This
right.
is what I'm called to do. I'm called to be present. I'm called to, you know, live a certain type of way. And it's not something, again, that I would have ever thought I would be doing, but here I am. And the change, I feel it in every aspect. You know, my mental, the way I even deal with situations that are sent to destroy me, in a sense, is completely different now versus before. The way I respond to things in terms of like my actual speaking is completely different. The way I dress, the way the way I move, the things that I listen to, the things that I watch, like just things are different, you know, and it wasn't for anybody else but me, you know, so.
What would you tell a young Ashley if you could go back and give your younger self one of the biggest pieces of advice that you would give yourself? What would you say?
It would probably be you're enough in every aspect. No matter who else doesn't see it, no matter when you don't feel it, you are enough. You will always be enough. You were always enough. As a matter of fact, you're more than enough. Because I think that that's something that I struggled with growing up and over into my adult years, is not feeling enough, you know, feeling inadequate. So, yeah, that's what I would, yeah.
Okay.
You're enough.
Along with music, you have quite a few films that you've been featured in.
We have.
Where can the fans find some of these films? One that I love, I Promise That Was Broken.
Yes.
It is available on Tubi.
It's on Tubi, y'all. Don't be judging me now.
Go watch.
It's on Tubi. Yeah, go ahead and go watch it, though.
How do you balance all of this stuff? Like, you know, life, work, opportunities. You done been Atlanta, between Atlanta, Chicago, I everywhere. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
How do you, you know?
It sounds so cliche. I don't. I
think
don't balance it.
understand
I
that.
don't
that
balance
feeling
it. I
that
just
way.
let God do his thing. I'm really big on, and it's not cliche, I'm really big on just letting him lead. So those feelings of being overwhelmed, I don't have a lot of those feelings because my thought process is if I'm supposed to do all of these things, he's going to make it happen. He's going to give me the wisdom. He's going to give me the strength. He's going to give me the rest. He's going to give me everything that I need, every tool that I need to get these tasks done. He's going to provide me with them. So I don't even think like that. You know what I mean? I never realized like, oh, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing so much, because I'm just like, okay, well, today we're shooting a movie. All right, well, tomorrow we traveling. Like, I just know he's going to equip me with the tools that I need to get it done if it's in his will for me to do it.
And you trust it.
Yeah. I don't ask questions anymore. There's so many things that I could ask questions about, and I just don't. I'm like,
we get caught up in asking a lot of the questions when we just need to just trust it.
yeah. Asking questions is just for what? You know, why? If you really trust him, then you're not going to walk in any type of fear, any type of doubt, any type of worry. You're just going to trust him. He got it.
One of my favorite basketball players was Kobe Bryant.
Come on, Kobe. Kobe.
R.I.P. Salute to one of the greats.
Gotta say that.
And I was watching an interview he did one time, and he told the young lady, he said, we as human beings get so caught up in failure and not being enough and not feeling like we're not there. But he said, when you really think about it, he said, failure, he said, this ain't no Jedi mind trick or nothing. He said, failure really don't exist if you keep trying.
Yeah, because eventually you'll get it. And the saying that you miss 1,000% of the shots you don't take.
Ooh.
So for me, yeah. I can never sit and say, I failed at this.
Hell no. If
I tried it and it didn't work out, it just wasn't for me.
Damn, I just cursed. My bad.
It's totally fine. If it didn't work out, it just means it was not for me. It doesn't mean I failed at it. It just wasn't for me. That was not my path. That was not supposed to be a part of my purpose. So I think if more people would think like that, then a lot of the feelings of not being good enough and that inadequacy, they wouldn't have it, because they would just be like, okay, well, yeah, that just wasn't for me. Just wasn't for me.
But
okay, cool,
okay.
next.
And that's okay.
And that's totally fine. There's been numerous things that I have tried, let me tell you, because I used to swear I was going to be a basketball player. Meanwhile, I'm 5'2" and a half. 5'3" on a good day. Can't dribble. Can't shoot. No type of coordination on the court. It's sad, actually.
But you could get there.
The devil is a liar. I swore I was going to be a basketball player. It was not for me, and that's okay. And God told, baby girl, that's not for you. Not on the court. You are a cheerleader.
It's a little bit of acceptance there. Like,
yeah, I had to accept it. Like, you have to, if you don't accept it, you just gonna keep, baby, look. He told me, that is not for you. You are a cheerleader for a reason. Put the ball down. But I was adamant. I'm gonna be basketball player. I'm gonna be the next Cheryl Swoops. That's gonna be me, Lisa Leslie. And he told me to sit down, and I had to accept it. So yeah, it's just that acceptance. Everything is not going to be for you just because you think it is, or just because it's something that you want to do. It's not gonna be for you, and that's okay.
Who are some of the people that you look up to in some of this, what you're doing? Like, who do you, like, man, like, I really feel like I can get there, if you don't feel like you're there already, I mean.
I think from, a musical aspect, I know people have to say what they have to say, but definitely Kirk Franklin.
Okay.
Marvin Sapp, Yolanda Adams,
for sure.
Bree Babineau.
Okay. Amazing artist.
There's so many though, it's crazy. Pastor Mike. People better stop sleeping on him. Let me tell you, that's my best friend. I'm telling you, me and Pastor Mike, we like this. We best friends. So when he see this, he gonna be like, that's my best friend. No, I'm just playing. But I'm also one of those people that I'm so open to just working with anybody or wanting to be around just good energy. You know what I mean? So if we have that same drive and we have that same love, let's just work. You know, you don't have to be an A-list celebrity. You can be just starting out, you know. Yeah, but those are some of the names I dropped. Those are some of my people. That Marvin Sapp. Let me tell you something about that man. That man can sing. You hear me?
Facts.
You hear me when I tell you? He got that sap from that Jesus tree. You hear me? That.
I don't know what it's worth, but I'm proud of you, man. Like
Please don't make me cry because you know I'm a crybaby. You know that's what I do.
I didn't seen it. Like
I'm very good at it.
From day one.
I will cry. The drop of a hat. I'm a crier.
Please keep doing what you're doing.
I feel like I don't have a choice. And I think before it was easy for me to quit. I mean, you've been around for the journey, so it was easy for me to quit and say, music not for me. This is not for me. I'm done. I'm hanging it up. I'm done. Mm-hmm. But I think that now it's not only would it be a discredit to the people who do support me, but God, he would be like, come on now. You just gonna quit? Like, how can you quit? I've given you every tool to be successful. I've shown you this is what you're supposed to be doing. You asked me for that confirmation. I have given you that confirmation. And you just gonna quit on me? Nah, can't do it. I couldn't quit if I wanted to. That wrath to come down so hard. No quitting allowed.
Let the fans know one more time where they can find you and your social media.
Everything is the Ashleye Show.
Y'all heard it here first.
There's an E after the Y in Ashley. That's everything.
Go check out Tubi.
Just go do it. Just go. For the heck of it, go do it.
Restore Me is on the way. What can we
You in my
express?
business.
What can we expect from this project? I mean, the title pretty much speaks for itself.
It does, but I think that you can expect, even though we don't do expectations, I think that you can expect for me to be the most vulnerable I've ever been. Mm-hmm. The project definitely, it just takes you on my journey. It takes you back to the secular days in terms of, it just takes you through the journey of how I got to be to where I am now, what I went through, the ups, the downs, the challenges, the words that people said, the tears, just everything. So the whole purpose of the project is to show how I've been restored, to show how it's possible for anybody, to show that God never left me hanging, even when I felt like I was by myself. He was right there, to show that he's always had my back, always been by my side, always been in front of me, always been behind me, always been at the top, always, to just show that I've always been covered. And to show it's kind of like a rebirth in a sense. That's what I like to look at it as, it's a rebirth.
I want to add, not even ask, I want to thank you for your time.
Of course.
And thank you for your your energy and blessing us with your presence.
Come on now.
This was due.
It was. It definitely was.
And it's the right season. So
come on, season.
It's a season of new beginnings.
Ooh.
In a way.
You about to.
So.
Okay.
And with that being said, I feel like one thing that I personally get from you and watching you over the years, it's like you're not your mistakes. Like you do what you do, you learn and you move on and you become bigger and better.
Yeah.
And smarter and just overall a more sharpened person.
Yeah. I mean, I think that you have to take the things that you go through, and instead of thinking like, why is this happening to me, you have to think, why is this happening for me? And I think that once you have that mentality, it doesn't make it to where it's like a mistake. It's like, okay, I'm learning from that was just something I did or something I said, and now I know how to move. But I appreciate that because it's been a lot. Like, you've been around for the years, so you've seen the ups, the downs. It's been a lot, and I just think that I take everything as a lesson. I never take anything as a loss. When people are like, oh, I just got to take that L better stand for lesson and not a loss, because nothing is a loss. God replaces anything that he takes out of your life. He is going to replace it with something 30 times better. He's going to replace it with something way beyond your imagination. So I think that once people know that just because something was quote unquote taken away, it doesn't mean you're not going to get better. That's why he took it away. It's no room for him to put what's better if that old thing is still there, whether it's a person, whether it's a job, whether it's a opportunity. If you don't, it just doesn't align with your purpose. You know what I mean? So yeah. And that's just my mindset. I'm like, nothing is an L. I don't take losses. I just gain lessons and I just move from there.
I like that.
Everything has been better. Anything or anyone that he's taken away, baby, let me tell you something. The replacements are just top notch. I'm like, I see you up there. You did that.
Ash, we can't wait to see what you bring to the table next. It's going to be a good year.
It is.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Can't wait for the start of the year. It's
Y'all
gonna be
heard
amazing.
it here first, man. It's going
Here
big ups.
first.
Big shit on the way. Y'all heard it here first.